everybody, Excited Utterance here, and it's Mushroom Day again. Yes, indeed, it's Mushroom Day, and I've also got my long jumper on because it's winter here. It's winter when the best mushies grow. Yes, indeed. Oh my goodness, we are up to day 29 of this thing, week 8 of the mushroom trial. And I just have to say that mushroom trial greater than Karen Reed trial, greater than any trial. This is a good trial. Shame we don't get to see it. But you do get the dramatic reading of the cross-examination of Erin Patterson by Dahlia and I, which is better. Yeah. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Marcus says, today is the on-time day. Nah. See, I do it to annoy you now. Yeah. I guess she cancelled again. Yeah, no. Yeah, nah, mate. One day she will cancel on us. No, not that. Hey, Half Irish. Now, donations greatly appreciated. Help, I'm dying of mushies. I'm actually dying of poorness. Yeah. You know, it's my birthday in a few days. I can't afford to have a birthday. You know why? Because Sarah took all my money. But here he is. Can you hear him? He's there and he's well. He's good. He's lying up against the back of the laptop, pushing it forward towards me. He'll make an appearance soon. So yeah, any donations greatly appreciated. You can become a member. You can buy me a coffee. All those things. So thank you very much. She's going to claim something about the snow. Yeah, it's not snowing here. I'm not going to try that. Hey Ma, how are you, sweetheart? It's so good to see you, love. You're a kind, awesome person. Have I ever told you that? Scott, it's supposed to be 18 in Brisbane today. It is. It's goddamn cold. My daughter and I, we're both people who feel the cold like bad. I have a heater on next to me, and I have about 8 layers on. She went to school in gloves this morning. Nice weather then. Well, it is for people who don't feel the cold that bad. Hello, Alaska is Angel Uncle. Oh, Steve, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you for a bit, mate. Hey. Hello. Alaska's the third one, right? Because you got Devil and Angel and Alaska. 3 kitties is better than 1. Dali, what are you doing? He's making weird noises back there.
Oh, shit.
Yes, you have you have your...
Why wasn't I muted?
I don't know. You had your microphone on. Thank goodness you weren't peeing or something.
No, I was sitting down and talking with my cats and...
You were growling.
Arr.
Yeah, that's what you did. That.
Yeah.
Live on my stream.
I was doing an impression of another YouTube streamer. Taka.
You weirdo. Okay, sorry. Enough said. All right. What day? We are up to... Yeah, your pants are always up. Good. Show me your hands, both now. Good. Why do I continue this
hell if I know.
This co-host thing? Just whatever. Okay. We are up to day 29, Half Irish. Fellow June, baby. Yeah, Bree. 16th of June. That's me. Yep, we are. I'm a Gemini. Are you a Gemini, Bree? Yeah, we are not two-faced. We have multiple, what do you call it? Not personalities. We don't have DID. We're just creatively gifted in multiple areas. Did he duct tape them yet? No. Yeah, see, we heard that, Darby. Yes, but Devil will get health issues currently. Oh no, is Devil okay? Has Devil got cat flu? Because both my cat, Sarah, and KLF, her cat, over in America, has cat flu as well. So I hope Devil is all right. Let me know. Because it's fun. Hella, you know it. Hey, my birthday is on the 16th of June. So I will probably be having a birthday stream, more than likely.
Wait,
and
when?
I'll be inviting lots of fun guests. Pardon?
When's your birthday?
Do I have to say it again?
No, June or July?
June. It's in a few days.
Oh, okay.
I know when your birthday is.
Well, no, I was just.
Your birthday's the 24th of March.
Correct.
How's that?
Me?
Yeah. Your 16th or our 16th? It'll be your 15th. Yeah. The cop who shot the Aussie reporter is getting investigated.
Oh, come on.
And did you see? Yeah, so we should. Also, did you see there was another Aussie reporter who got tear gassed?
Good. Suffer.
Nice.
Aussies.
Hey, shut up. Okay, let's get into it. Oh, Mandy. Oh, man. Like my thumbnail?
I do.
A. Right. Okay, because Colin Mandy, which is her
The
defense lawyer,
prosecutor says, I suggest you are lying.
I suggest you are
She used
lying.
that same line at a Subaru dealership.
I suggest you are lying. Right. So Colin Mandy is a very well-regarded defense attorney here in Australia, barrister. And Erin Patterson, I have heard, actually sold or remortgaged 2 properties in order to hire this dude.
Wow.
Yep. So that's how much he costs. And do you just love the look on his face? Like, aha, 2 properties. That's a lot of moolah. That's a lot of Aussie dollary doos.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that's
to buy 2 beef Wellingtons.
Yeah, plenty of beef Wellingtons. And the lady on the left, if you want to call her that, is the prosecutor. Now, where we're at right now is the defendant, Erin Patterson, was on the stand last week for a few days on direct, and then the prosecutor took her on to cross, and she's been on cross for, I think, about 4 days now.
Jeez.
Right? She has been worn the fuck down by this woman, right? And today we're going to do a dramatic kind of reading of the transcript. And please, guys, the transcript has been pulled together from news reports, people in the courtroom who have been taking notes. It might not be 100% accurate because of that. There is no transcript released. So I have to take what is being given to me, but it's pretty close. Now, that said, this prosecutor is she's just wearing this lady down to a point where Erin is she's breaking, right? She's really starting to break. You can tell just this last day, the 29th, day 29, which was my yesterday, she's starting to, her story's starting to break apart. And I'm hoping that Colin Mandy, when he gets her back on redirect, that he can pull some of it back together, but you just don't know. So we'll see. Hello, Laura. How are you? She's not eating or drinking. Got to take her back to the vet for blood work and x-rays. Is she sneezing, Steve? My cat was not eating or drinking either. There was sneezing and that kind of stuff. So definitely, yeah, get onto it. But my cat got better, and he's nearly 19. Stay on it. Hey, Laura. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so just as per usual, we tell you where this is. It's all happening here down in Victoria. Story starts here. Leongatha, Victoria. July 29, 2023. And it's nowhere near me. I'm all the way up here. Which is a good sort of nearly day and a half, almost 2 days drive away. No, there's no poison mushies near me. It's too warm near me. And it was lunchtime. Yeah. And she cooked them a lovely lunch. It was supposed to be lovely. Anyway, and they enjoyed it, actually. They said they enjoyed it. And the guests. So Erin Patterson was the chef. Her estranged husband was the escapee. He said he didn't want to go. He wasn't comfortable with being there. They're estranged. They were having some issues. But she did also invite his parents, the parents-in-law, who she still had a good relationship with, Gail Patterson and Don Patterson, rest in peace, and Heather Wilkinson, her sister, and her husband, Ian Wilkinson, who survived. He had a liver transplant, and he's also the pastor. So they're all religious people. She actually has testified to the fact that she was converted to Christianity through this family, and they prayed at this lunch. So there you go. So he's the one who survived after many weeks in hospital fighting for his life. But these guys here, they all died within a few days. Rogered by Rogers. So, like my headline? Yeah. So let's watch All Hail His Noodly Appendage. Yes. Hey, Mark Harding, how are you? Why didn't she invite her ex-husband's new girlfriend? I don't know. Okay, so let's watch a little bit of news footage of what happened yesterday before we get into the reading.
So from plates to portion sizes, Erin Patterson has today been accused of repeatedly lying to the jury in her triple murder trial.
Accused mushroom murderer Erin Patterson back in the witness box for a 6th day. Questioned about the plates she used to serve the beef Wellingtons. Patterson denying she'd taken the extra precaution of using a different and smaller plate to the rest of her guests.
I don't have 5 plates the same, so somebody would have had different plates.
Remember when I said that? Hella's always right. Right? Remember when this testimony came up early in the trial, when they were saying, oh, well, she had a different plate. I said, like, the plate thing means nothing to me. If you have some plates that match, you give them to your guests. Yeah. And you take the non-matching one for yourself. Right? She says she don't have ones that match.
I don't have 4 plates the same either. When I plated the food, it wasn't for particular people.
Patterson accused repeatedly of lying. That she'd lied about only eating a small portion of beef Wellington.
I didn't have a tape measure. It's all approximate.
That she'd lied about vomiting afterwards to try and account for why she didn't get as sick as her guests.
I wish that was true, but it's not.
Patterson disputing a hospital doctor's evidence that she asked no questions despite learning her guests were sick from death cap mushroom poisoning.
I definitely tried to ask questions. He may not have heard me. He was very busy. I remember saying to him at the very least, why do you think we've eaten death cap mushrooms?
The prosecution putting to Patterson that she was stressed during the hospital visit.
I suggest that you were shocked that the doctors were onto death cap mushrooms so quickly and you were worried you were going to get caught. Correct or incorrect?
Incorrect. I don't think anyone tried to ask me that question, so I don't know what you're referring to.
Erin Patterson has pleaded not guilty to all charges.
For the latest on the case, crime and justice reporter for The Age, Erin Pearson, was in court today. So Erin Patterson was accused of lying a number of times today. How did she react to that?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of reaction from Erin Patterson in the courtroom today. She was asked many different questions about, I suggest that you did this or did that, or this was the motivation behind your actions. And most of her answers were, I disagree, or no, you're incorrect.
No.
There wasn't a lot of emotion at all today. There was a little bit of confusion, particularly around some questioning we heard this morning about a weight loss surgery appointment. The jury had been told by Erin Patterson that she had booked for September 2023. Now, this was part of her evidence that we heard late last week, that she said that she was allowing her family members to think perhaps that she was unwell and may need surgery because she wanted to keep this weight loss surgery, this gastric band sleeve type surgery, a secret from her family. And it was during her evidence last week that she named a clinic. She said it was the Enrich Clinic in Melbourne, where she had an appointment, a pre-operative appointment, to go and see a specialist there. But when Nanette Rogers SC took to the stand this morning, the Crown prosecutor fired off questions about that appointment straight away and said, Miss Patterson, do you know that it's a cosmetic clinic and it doesn't actually perform weight loss surgery? And it was at that point Erin Patterson appeared quite confused and said, well, she believed that's the surgery that she was going for.
Erin Patterson was grilled over her movements after she discharged herself from hospital. What did the prosecution say?
Yeah, so we know that she went to hospital 2 days after the lunch at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and she was there for about 10 minutes, and she told staff that she needed to leave. She wasn't prepared to be admitted to go to a Melbourne hospital. She thought that she may just have gastro and need some IV fluid. So she said that she needed to go home and sort out her pets, her animals, and sort out her children as well, and will be back shortly. But the jury were told the evidence is that she actually didn't return to hospital for an hour and 38 minutes. The prosecution today suggested that Erin Patterson didn't go home to organise her life before intending to go back to hospital. Perhaps she just left because she was worried that the medical staff had coined on to the fact that death cap mushrooms may be involved so early on, and she needed to make preparations. We also heard that there was some cell tower data that placed her mobile phone southwest of Leongatha during this time.
Cell tower data,
Erin Patterson denied all of those allegations and said, no, she went home, she had a bit of a sleep, took care of what she needed to take care of, and then returned to the hospital just before 10 a.m.
You mentioned Patterson's children. Today she was interrogated about her reluctance to take them to hospital. What did we learn about that?
That's right. It's a question that's been asked of Miss Patterson many times during this trial, and it was a particular time when she was at Leongatha Hospital that the jury have been told it was first raised with her that she needed to bring the children in to be examined. Potentially they may have ingested some of the lunch leftovers. She was asked, yes, did you have a reluctance to stay? Did you have a reluctance to bring them into hospital and have them treated? Because that was the evidence of some of the other witnesses. And Erin Patterson said, no, that's not true at all. She didn't have a reluctance to bring them in. She just wanted to find out a little bit more about why they wanted them to come in and what that would involve. And that's when she mentioned today the evidence of a Dr. Christopher Webster, who was at the Leongatha Hospital. And she said that the way that he spoke to her made her feel like it was quite a bizarre exchange. And she alleged that he yelled at her, which she now says she realises after he gave evidence that was really his inside voice. But that made her quite anxious and was one of the other reasons that she may have been or appeared to be a bit stressed at the time.
All right, many more threads will be pulled on, I imagine. Erin, thank you very much for your time.
Threads. Okay. Right. Let's get into it, guys. We have transcript. We're going. Hey, Silent G, Baldo Washer, how you going? Hell has been being mean to me. No, I've been very supportive. I just told you to suffer. That's all I did. I just went onto your channel and I told you to suffer. That's all I did, Silent G. Right? And then you just said that you were what? What did you say? That you've been felted. But you felted good before I came along. That's it. Right? And then you were over in Miss Potts' channel, completely giving it to people who didn't understand about the Brian Koberger timing advanced records. And I was like, that's my Silent G. You need to come on this channel sometime, Silent G. You're way cool. But even for a Baldo Washer. You filtered me. That's totally cope. You are coping. Anyway, hell is mean to you. Welcome to my world. All right, let's get into it. So, okay, mushroom trial day 29. Did you love the way? I mean, I don't use Microsoft products. I use Google Docs. But if you put a big headline, it puts it over here and makes it into a tab for you. I just found that out. How fun! Right, I don't use any
fancy
word processing
Microsoft
software.
products.
Fancy, no Google Docs. Yeah,
Made by Microsoft.
We've learned a new language after meeting Sean. Well, Sean's part of the Dabbleverse, apparently. It's a Dabbleverse.
Yes.
It's a verse anyway.
Bunch of artists.
Okay. Yeah, artists. Yeah. Apparently, if you're not an artist, then you're like being left out.
A normie.
Okay. Like you. Okay. Day 29, week 7. Okay, so you're going to be Rogers, right? So you need to be super duper mean.
And Australian.
And Australian. Can you handle this, or do you need me to be Rogers?
Oh, I can do it.
Apparently, I'm very mean.
Oh, clearly.
So she said
so
this.
Start there. Okay.
Can you like read what she said? Like,
oh yeah, you want me to start now?
Well, you can say that.
Okay. I suggest you didn't love them.
Prosecutor asked if Patterson had 2 faces. All right, so I'll do the commentary as well. So Erin Patterson denies lying in her evidence. Crown Prosecutor Dr. Nanette Rogers, SC, has resumed her cross-examination by asking Patterson about evidence she gave on Friday about a pre-surgery appointment for a gastric bypass booked in September 23 at the Enric Clinic in Melbourne. We need to look that up. Enric Clinic in Melbourne. Right? Now, I don't know how that came into evidence, the Enric Clinic. Right? I don't know whether she said it or they've gone and looked it up based on, like, looking through her computer or something like that. I doubt that Erin would have actually said the word Enric Clinic. I really hope Colin Mandy can refute this and go, no, that wasn't where she was going, or something like that. Rogers then says...
Hold on, I'm just looking up this whole clinic thing. I mean, they do have body treatments and stuff.
Body treatments?
Yeah. Hair loss, hand rejuvenation, stretch marks, laser tattoo, skin tightening treatments, snoring program.
That's
Miragery treatment. Hyperhidrosis program.
That's not gastric bypass.
Is defined as excessive sweating of the armpits. Oh, I have that problem.
Yeah, not.
Okay, I'm going to have to write that. Hyperhidrosis. Okay, I'm going to have to. Our hydrosis.
Go to Gippsland Bariatric Services.
It can help set you free from your sweaty prison. I'm in a sweaty prison.
Maybe she was in surgery after the gastric. Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay, I think there is zero way that Colin Mandy would allow her to say on the stand that she had an appointment for gastric bypass and it was that place.
Yeah.
Got to be something else. He's definitely going to be bringing something back on Cross about this. Like, there's no way that was it. That this Enric Clinic was the thing. He wouldn't have let her bring it up. Like, he wouldn't have asked her about it. This is stupid. There are, according to Search AI, several places in Victoria that will do gastric bypass or more commonly gastric banding, Gippsland Bariatric Services. Yeah. Anyway, let's get on with it.
Are you aware that Enrich Clinic does not offer gastric bypass surgery, Miss Patterson?
I don't know. I'm a bit puzzled. Well, I had an appointment with that, and that's what my memory was that the appointment was for. The appointment was for weight-related reasons. I also been looking at liposuction.
Miss Patterson, I put it to you that you lied in your evidence on Friday that you had an appointment for gastric bypass surgery.
That was
Is that
not a lie.
true?
Is that true? That was not a lie. That was what my memory was. Okay, so Patterson says she can't recall visiting website that logged death caps. So now we're going to be talking about the iNaturalist website, right?
I want to turn your attention now to a series of searches found on your computer, Miss Patterson, back in May 2022.
Right. Rogers brings in exhibits.
This post on the iNaturalist website is an observation of death cap mushrooms in a reserve in Moorabbin, posted by a user on May 18th, 2022. Do you agree that's what you see in the exhibit, Miss Patterson?
It looks like it, yes.
This post was accessed on your computer 10 days after it was posted on May 28th. Do you agree, Miss Patterson?
Oh my God, Dolly.
I went to a video on how to speak Australian and listened to it, and now I'm trying to implement it, but it's not going well.
It's not going well.
I think if we can find a word that ends in ER, I can do that.
Right.
But so far, we haven't found any of them.
Can you just do angry man?
Okay.
Angry man would be better.
Or angry woman.
Angry man, angry woman, whichever. I think EB voice would be good.
Okay.
Okay. I can't remember ever visiting that site.
Miss Patterson, what then was your interest in death cap mushrooms?
Thank you, Half-Hour.
Suffer, Dolly.
I wanted to know if they lived in South Gippsland. That's a weird way of putting it, that they lived.
If they lived?
But, yeah, but she did say lived.
Okay.
Okay, but I think I get what she's talking about. I think she's trying to say, she wanted to know if they were around where she was. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so prosecutor asks accused about accessing website whilst in pub. You know
On the same date that we've been talking about, you navigated to the web address to the middle pub on May 28th.
I thought you quite liked the name Kurrumbara.
Karambara.
Yeah. It looks like somebody did, yes.
3 minutes after you had access to the iNaturalist page at 7:20 p.m.
3 minutes after somebody did.
Are you suggesting it might have been your son?
I'm not suggesting anything.
Are you suggesting it might have been your daughter?
I'm not suggesting anything.
Who lived in your house at that time?
Me and my 2 children.
There are from the Kookaburra Middle Pub for an order. Links to your name and phone number, Miss Patterson. Did you purchase the order?
The food was paid for. I don't remember if it was me.
I suggest there were 4 large dinner plates, and they were for the 4 guests.
Okay, so hang on. Now we're back to the lunch. So Hal Patterson says she served the beef Wellington to her lunch guest. So just PS. So let's go back for a second. So all this chatter back here is all about her supposedly looking at the iNaturalist website while she was at a pub at Kooraburra Middle Pub, right? So, and she's just saying, yeah, it just wasn't necessarily me. I don't even know. I don't remember. And yeah, okay, you say that, but okay. So now we're talking about the actual lunch. Go ahead.
I suggest there were 4 large dinner plates, you bitch. And they were for the 4 guests.
Incorrect.
The smaller orange, sensual, and tan plate was for yourself.
Incorrect.
Did you say that Sir Ian Wilkinson has given incorrect evidence around the issue with the plots?
Yes, I do. It's not true.
You served yourself a beef Wellington which did not have death cap mushrooms in it.
Agree.
You knew it did not contain death cap mushrooms.
Disagree.
I suggest to avoid any error, accidentally consuming a beef Wellington with death cap mushrooms. You took the extra precaution of using a smaller and different plate to plate your non-poisonous serve.
Disagree. This woman, this prosecutor is driving me fucking mental. Right? Like, just imagine having this person just like,
yeah,
you did this, you did that. Like, she's
Just
not even
imagine-
asking questions.
Just imagine you were a mechanic at a Subaru dealership having to deal with her. It would be a nightmare.
Right? Just
That's what it's like to be cross-examined by her.
And like, there's so many things that are asked and answered. Like,
Yeah.
and we don't know about objections. We don't know about them.
True.
Yeah, you're right, Bronze. In Victoria, it should sound like Kath and Kim. But there's this comedy duo called Kath and Kim, and one of them goes to the other one, look at me, look at me.
Look at Ma.
Okay, so Kooraburra is nothing to do with the bird, the kookaburra. So the etymology of Kooraburra is derived from an Aboriginal word meaning maggot,
Kinky.
possibly relating to the giant earthworms found in the district. Ah, they're interesting, Mark Harding. Very interesting. Look at me. Okay. All right, so let's keep going. Oh, God, this woman is insufferable.
Did I just say that? Oh, sorry. See what I did there?
Yeah.
That's why you never suffered the same illness as the other guests.
I'm suffering now. Incorrect.
That's why you didn't have Amanita phalloides poisoning.
Sounds quite dirty. Okay, so Patterson said she did not have a matching set of plates, so it was possible her plate was different to the ones used by the other guests, as she did not have 4 plates that were the same. Hell is always right.
Oh no! Oh my God!
That was the one I wanted.
Right? Right? Was it like 2 weeks ago that I said all this shit, right? Because
Yeah.
everybody was all like, oh my God, she served it on a different plate. Guilty. Patterson denies she ate all her beef Wellington portion. Here we go.
I suggest that you had in fact eaten a whole portion of your serve at the lunch.
Disagree.
You told Professor thought, half in an effort to explain to medical authority why your symptoms were not as serious as the symptoms for the other 4 lunch guests.
Incorrect. Oh, here we go. Okay, so questions turn to a sickly subject.
You never mentioned, I suggest, that you only ate half to medical staff at Leongatha Urgent Care Center.
I have no idea.
In your evidence in chief, you told the jury that you only ate a quarter, a third, somewhere around there of your beef wellies. Do you remember saying that to Mr. Mandy?
I do.
Not only that, but that you vomited it up sometime later.
I said that I did vomit it later, but I don't think I said I'd vomit it up. But I could be wrong. Oh,
Your
Patterson.
evidence.
Hang on, wait. That was a dumb thing to say. So she said, I said that I did vomit it later, but I don't think I said I'd vomited it up. But I could be wrong. She should have just said yes. Why is she muddying the waters?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. She's getting ruffled, right?
Yeah.
And wouldn't you be?
Sure. Yeah, I don't understand. There's no reason for her to be on cross for days.
And yeah, Darlie made this point to me before we started today. Her lawyer had her give so much evidence in chief that it's given the prosecution free rein to just hammer her for days and days and days. And I'm sure her counsel had reason, I suppose, to do that, but we're now at a point where she's just being worn down and she's starting to contradict herself and forget what she said earlier. And this Nanette Rogers, she's pretty good at she's pretty much like a cop doing the read technique. Right? Just like boom, 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 boom. And Erin's tired.
Yeah.
It seems.
I mean, she's mentally just fatigued. Anybody would be. I'm surprised she lasted as long as she did, quite frankly.
Yep. Okay, so this bit.
Your evidence was that you ate a quarter, a third, somewhere around there. God, my voice. I'm not used to doing, like, impressions.
Oh, you don't do that.
No, not as often. Like, I'm rusty at doing them. I have to start doing my Jensen manuscript again to get in practice. And that sometimes that afternoon on July 23rd, 29, that you caused yourself to vomit.
Correct.
Is it your evidence that that vomit was partly constituted by the beef Wellington, correct?
I have no idea what was in the vomit.
I mean, that's kind of a... Okay, I remember, I heard Payne go over, this was the part that Payne talked about this morning. I thought it was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
On the prosecutor's part. Like, now you're trying to get into her vomit. Like, do you know what part of your vomit, like what came up in your vomit at what time?
Yep.
Like, it...
Yep.
At all?
Well, how could I? It's vomit, unless you see a bean or a piece of corn.
Yeah, I mean, she's not a freaking coroner. She's not going through, like, she doesn't know how to go through somebody's stomach and, like, figure out what they had 48 hours ago.
And, like, at that point, like, assuming she's innocent, which we should be, right? She didn't know there was anything wrong with the food that she'd just eaten. Yeah. And there's no reason for her to literally go through her vomit to see whether or not she'd gotten it all up, right? So why would she know? Why would she be paying attention to what was in her vomit? This is literally a gross line of questioning.
Gross in both ways, but yeah.
All right, so go on.
You did it. Oh, yeah. You didn't have corn at the lunch.
That was an example.
I suggest you did not tell a single medical person that you had vomited up after the lunch on the afternoon of July 29.
That's true. I did not do that.
God. I suggest that's something you would have told them if it were true. Hey.
Hey, Excel spreadsheet. Incorrect.
Do you say it's incorrect because of your embarrassment?
I say it's incorrect because that's what happened.
I suggest to you that you lied about the vomiting.
I wish that was true, but it's not. Okay, I find this answer really interesting, right? I wish that was true, but it's not. So, I don't. Okay, so in a way, she's like, I wish it was true that I wasn't someone who vomited, like in general, like in that I wish I didn't have an eating disorder.
Yeah.
Or I wish it was true that I didn't vomit, in that I wish I was the one who got poisoned.
Yeah.
Not these people, or
And then
that I deserve to have been poisoned just like them, because it's not fair that I escaped this and they also. It's
That's
an
weird.
interesting sentence, isn't it?
It's very, to me, that's very telling. Or it could go different ways, but all of them are kind of,
they're all exculpatory.
yeah.
Like if you believe these words, I wish it was true, but it's not. Right? If you believe what she's saying, then it's a sad sentence. It's like I wish it was true that I weren't vomiting, that I didn't vomit. It's like I wish I weren't someone who vomited, or I wish that I had gotten sick as well with them because I feel responsible, and why do I get away with not getting sick and they die? So it's better than her just saying, I didn't lie.
Yeah. I do like that answer.
I like that answer.
I mean,
it's a sad answer, but I like that there's something human in that answer.
Yeah, it's very honest.
Yeah. And I don't know how much the jury believes anything she says, but to me,
she could just be a lying liar who lies, but
yeah, she could be, but it's better than just no, I didn't lie.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
And probably every juror just kind of overlooked it, but
maybe
it's easier for us because we get to kind of look at it in text too.
Maybe, but you never know. There could be one or two jurors who are they're really evaluating this aspect of it. So I just wanted to, this is just a screenshot here. I just wanted to note that this is what's being reported. So an eye roll and a shrug when questions turn to nurses' evidence, right? That they're reporting on her body language here. So yeah, Erin Patterson rolled her eyes while seated in the witness box when prosecutor Nanette Rogers said she would read the court evidence from Leongatha Hospital nurse Kylie Ashton. Patterson then closed her eyes and huffed when pressed if she said that she told Ashton she wasn't prepared to be admitted to hospital soon after she arrived. Moments later, Patterson shrugged when asked if Ashton told her she wanted the mother of two to stay in hospital for her own health and safety. So, yeah, I don't remember her using those words, Patterson told the jury. Yeah, well, would you be a fan of Nanette Rogers if you were her? I also don't think she's a fan of this woman, this Kylie Ashton woman, the Leongatha hospital nurse. I don't think she's a fan of her because she's saying that Kylie Ashton is confused, right? So,
did you
Roger.
tell Nurse Ashton that you'd been advised to attend? The hospital is a fifth member of the boy band. I mean lunch.
No.
Yeah. Or so that's incorrect.
Yeah. She is confused. Accused disputes nurse's evidence over hospital visit.
I suggest that you were shocked that the doctors were onto death cap mushrooms so quickly.
Oh my God.
Excuse me.
I'm shocked at what a bitch you are. I wouldn't put it that way.
How would you put it?
I was anxious at the idea that we could have eaten those things.
You were worried you were going to get correct or incorrect.
Incorrect.
You weren't prepared to answer questions on why death cap mushrooms were in the meal. Correct or incorrect.
I don't think anyone tried to ask me that question, so I don't know what you're referring to. They didn't want me to leave a short hospital stay after lunch. Right, so let's keep going.
I suggest that you knew that your life wasn't threatened at this point.
I wouldn't say I knew. I didn't think it was.
I suggest that your behavior at Leongatha Hospital a few minutes after you presented there was because you knew that you had not consumed death cap mushrooms. Agree or disagree?
I don't think any of us had. That's not why I was leaving, though.
I suggest you left when confronted by the fact that staff had identified death cap mushies as the reason for the group's illness.
Hey, Tracy, how are you? Okay, so Rogers asked Patterson about the evidence given by her estranged husband, Simon Patterson, during his evidence earlier in the trial. Simon said, Erin Patterson told him she left the hospital, went home, and laid on the floor to sleep for about 45 minutes. In response to Rogers' question, Patterson said she had not provided Simon with a time frame. I remember telling him that I laid down for a bit. I wouldn't have said 45 minutes. She said she had no idea at what time she had laid down and how long for. There we go.
Surely that's the last thing you would do in those circumstances.
It might be the last thing you would do. God's sake. Oh, look.
Good Lord. What is he, like one of the guys 40 years in the future who was in Step Brothers?
I still can't get over the fact that he's the cell site expert. So focus on a phone ping 2 days after fatal lunch. Dr. Matthew Sorrell.
1970s
Right.
called. They want their hairdo back.
Timmy Phil Spector.
Yes.
Hey, Excel spreadsheet. EPAT didn't get her weight loss surgery, but the state might be offering her a lifestyle program for a long time instead if she wants. Well, it looks like she's lost a fair bit of weight just from the couple of photos we've seen of her. Yeah. Old lady hair. Yeah, he looks a bit like Nanette Rogers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's her girlfriend.
Maybe. So I just wanted to put that in there so we can get some context, because now they're moving on to asking Erin about the evidence given by...
What kind of tie is that? Good Lord.
Can I finish?
I'm sorry. His tie looks like it's just infected with herpes. I'm sorry, but...
It's a petri dish tie.
Okay. Oh, petri dish of herpes then. Fine. Whatever. Carry on.
Okay. Asking Erin about the evidence given by Dr. Matthew Sorrell, an expert in mobile phone towers. Okay. In his evidence, Sorrell suggested that Patterson's phone was initially connected to Leongatha Base Station before connecting to Outram Base Station Tower about 1:45 p.m. on July 31, 2023. That's 2 days after the lunch. Hey, that's after the lunch. It's a bit too late to be collecting death cap mushrooms after the lunch.
Unless she wanted to finish her husband off.
What's that got to do with anything? All right, let's keep going. So Roger says,
I suggest that you drove on the Bass Highway toward Outram.
I did, and that's not possible.
I didn't.
Sorry, I did not, and that's not possible.
I suggest that's why phone records show your phone tracking southwest of Leongatha.
Incorrect.
Is it your evidence that you did not leave your house after you returned home? After, leaving... Ah, God, my throat.
Just dying there.
I know.
Yeah.
And don't
Eat
clip
anything bad?
No. Just that beef Wellington you sent me. Right? That does not make any sense to me.
Why is this even relevant?
If she just poisoned them, the last thing she's going to be doing is going back to get more poisoned mushrooms.
I think maybe they're just trying to say that she's well enough to go for a drive or something. But they already know she went for a drive. She went to take her son for the flying lesson the day after. So what is this even about?
Was she trying to put the rest of her death cap mushrooms back in the forest where they belong? She wants to reunite them with their family?
Maybe.
Here you go. There's your brother. Go frolic in the forest with your other death cap friends.
This is so stupid.
She's not going to be going to get more poison, princess. It's the last thing she's going to do. I freaking hate cell tower data. It's just so stupid.
I hate pings, and no offense to ping.
Yeah.
But pings on their own are bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? You need more than just pings.
Especially
in a rural area.
Yeah. It can be twisted and manipulated, and it's so unreliable.
It really is
able to be twisted, and it's just not reliable to
and it's in a way it's a little bit like DNA, because people on juries they think, oh, DNA done, right? Oh, it's a ping done, right? A ping can only take you to in a rural area. It's between, I think, the lowest possible amount of space generally is 500 meters, which I don't know what that is in your widow units. 500 meters up to 5 kilometers.
It's like let me do 10 miles.
Yeah, half a kilometer.
Miles.
0.3 miles, right? So generally in a rural area, that's how close you can get just with a ping, right? And then, but if you are in a urban area, you might be able to get down to a street.
Yeah.
Or even a building. You might be able to get to a building because sometimes with pings, there's a tower that services just a district.
Yeah.
Or a couple of towers that service, and you can triangulate. But to just have a ping and no Google, GPS, app usage, things like that to go with it, and then not to be able to tie it to some CCTV, road cameras and things like that, you don't know where that person was. You just don't. What the fuck is a kilometer? Something better than the strange units that you guys use. Don't tell Young about your hatred of pings. I like my friend Ping from Australia. He's nice. I'd be surprised if the towers were as close as 5 kilometers apart out there. No, and I've had a look at where the towers are out there. They're at least that far, but there's only one that is servicing that Outram area.
So it's a
So
very
you can't
rural
triangulate
place?
them. Yeah.
Okay, so
course.
it's like when I go fishing and the towers are it's very difficult to like get accurate signal, and there's only a handful
Absolutely.
of towers.
Yeah. So you say ping, and all you're getting is that the person is in like a county kind of
Yeah.
area,
Although
right?
when I went
okay.
fishing, I did dual SIMs with T-Mobile and Verizon on one phone. I got a free trial to Verizon, so that meant I had 2 cell phone providers tracking me.
Oh my God.
Oh, if I'm accused of a crime, they're going to have a field day with that.
Oh, you're screwed.
I know.
Okay, so let's keep going. So I did leave the house. I went back to hospital.
I suggest that when you return to Leongatha to represent at the hospital, you did so to maintain the fiction of you similarly being unwell as your lunch guests.
Oh my God. Incorrect.
Later, that's you.
Later, Rogers questioned Patterson about evidence given by another nurse, Myrim Cespon, unfortunate name, related to the same day, July 31, 2023.
Marine cesspool.
Oh, it's the ice cream man.
And that's what you spend 1 hour and 40 minutes doing when you were away from hospital, thinking about ways to cover your tracks.
I'm sure I did some thinking during that time, but it wasn't covering my tracks.
Nurse Cesspool says you represented at 9:48 and told her you were nauseated. After speaking with Nurse Cesspool, Dr. Chris Webster came to speak with you again.
How are you Valley Girl now? You were Angry Man before.
I'm still Angry Man.
Now you're Valley Girl.
I'm Angry Valley Man.
Can we just be Angry Man?
Only for you. The nurse said the doctor said in your presence the children needed to be reviewed and you got upset. Gag me with a spoon. And that doctor...
No, gag me with a spoon. Stop it.
God.
Jesus Christ, darling.
Yes. And that Dr. Webster told you your children needed to be medically reviewed?
Yes.
Cesspool said you went to the toilet 3 times.
Oh no, here we go. I went to the toilet more than 3 times.
It was a fecal festival. We had a fecal frolic. Did you say to Miss Cesspool, it's a bowel motion? You know what they say? It's not the motion of the ocean, it's the bowel motion. That does look like a wee, but is a bowel motion. Do you get a notion of where I'm going? Would you like some lotion?
Stop it. I think I said something like that, yes. Oh my God, is that what it really says? It's a bowel motion that does look like a wee, but it is a bowel motion. Oh my God. the Fecal Festival name of Dali's new manuscript. Excel spreadsheet says if Erin Patterson had used Starlink and airplane mode, she might have dodged the cell tower pings. But sadly, she thought she fully encrypted the beef Wellington and got Rogers instead. I love it. Okay, so doctor's remarks are a pretty bizarre thing to say, accused tells jury. And he looks like a lovely doctor, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Erin Patterson's being asked about evidence given by Dr. Cripps Webster, during which he recalled telling her...
He looks like he has great dead side manner.
Dead side manner. That her children could be scared and alive or dead.
Seriously.
Scared and alive or dead.
This guy looks like the favorite part of his job is telling you bad news.
Mm.
He volunteers to tell everybody they're dying.
Excuse me, you're dying. Okay, bye now.
He overhears his colleague talking about having to tell somebody they have cancer. He's like, "Ooh, can I tell?"
This little red pocket handkerchief. It's like blood.
I have some good news for me. You're dying. Freaking Google.
Okay, so Patterson says he made it clear that he thought they might be at risk. Roger says.
In the face of that, in your evidence, you were reluctant to tell the children.
I was trying to make sense of what was going on and what Dr. Webster was saying to me. I thought to be scared and alive or dead was a pretty bizarre thing to say.
Staying alive, staying alive.
Anyway.
You were reluctant, I suggest, to have your children medically assessed. Correct or incorrect?
Incorrect. I wanted to understand what the concerns were.
You did not take immediate action to contact the school after Dr. Webster spoke to you in the plastered room.
Correct. Oh, here we go. Okay, so trial focus on timeline of toilet stops.
All right, guys, chat, don't get turned on.
Erin said she could not remember using the word explosive to describe her bowel movements, but she might have. Patterson reported experiencing symptoms in the late afternoon of July 29, 2023. I'd had a couple of loose stools by then, but the diarrhea didn't start until later.
Congratulations, well done.
We are such children.
I mean, you're going to have me on to talk about diarrhea.
Yeah, when you run into the dunny and you're feeling something funny, diarrhea. Diarrhea.
When Erin's climbing up the ladder and feels a sudden splatter, diarrhea. Oh, God, I'd just be humming that theme song the entire time on the jury.
Oh, dear. I wonder if there's anyone on the jury who's just like...
How could you not be?
You would be.
I would be, but, there's a reason I'm never picked for a jury.
Okay, that's you.
In my book, diarrhea is liquid.
No, that's you. That's me. Yeah, look.
Is there a difference in your mind between loose stools on one hand and diarrhea on the other?
In my book, diarrhea is liquid and loose stools are loose stools. They are, I don't know if you've had any experience with the Bristol stool chart.
Bristol's famous for their stool charts.
Loose stools.
People come from kilometers around to see Bristol's famous stool chart.
We need to get the Bristol stool chart up. Loose stools are somewhere near the line of diarrhea, but not quite there yet. Holy fuck. What?
Oh, this testimony is shit.
There's a chart. The Bristol stool chart, as compiled by Thomas J. Crapper. Okay. We'll get the Bristol stool chart.
Your evidence is that you had some diarrhea on Saturday evening.
That's correct.
Your evidence is that you wouldn't have taken your son's friend home if you felt you were going to have diarrhea.
I didn't say that.
Was it your evidence that you didn't have diarrhea and that's why you took the boy home?
No, I took the boy home because he needed to get home.
Was it your evidence that you didn't have diarrhea when you took the boy home?
Correct.
Is it your evidence you had diarrhea before you took the boy home?
No.
When was the first time in your evidence that you had diarrhea?
Late in the afternoon, late in
Good
the evening.
Lord. This woman's
Jesus
kinky.
Christ.
This girl's worse than Wade Wilson. How late?
I'm not sure what time.
I suggest you were not serious about your diarrhea. I mean, seriously unwell, because you did not consume even a minute amount of death cap mushrooms at the lunch. What do you say?
I have no idea if I did or I didn't. Hang on.
You were not suffering from death cap mushy poisoning.
Incorrect. Oh, sorry. Yes, incorrect. Yeah.
You deliberately tried to make it look like you were.
Incorrect.
You did that because you knew you had not eaten death cap mushies, and you knew how sus it would look if you did not seem sick like your guests.
Incorrect.
Is this almost over?
Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Look, see on the left.
Okay, cool. Rogers. Oh.
The leftovers. Hang on. Before we do that, though. I do need to show you this.
Oh God. Wow. Oh, this is nuts.
So water, like what she's talking about with the watery like thing that looks like pee, is this watery, no solid pieces, entirely liquid is type 7.
So is that where number 2 comes from?
No. Number 1's are wheeze.
Okay, so number 1's like rabbit.
Yeah. Number 1's problems. Like number 1's like constipated.
Okay.
Right. So she's talking about loose stools. So I would assume she kind of means like that or something. I don't know. Okay. Sorry to do that. Cheers. Anyway.
The chat, you should be.
You know, you need one of those printed out A2 size to put on the toilet door. Sure. Anyway, the leftovers police found in the bin. Rogers puts to Patterson that the food found in the bin was a single individual beef Wellington cut in half. Patterson disputes that. There was mushroom and pastry from one full one and the mushroom and pastry from a bit that I didn't eat.
And how much did you eat?
I think we've been over that.
I'm asking you again. Do they not have asked and answered objections there? Jesus.
I reckon. I actually had to say I've been over somewhere between a third and a quarter or a half. I don't know.
I didn't make that 6th one for Simone. Oh,
that's me.
Sweet.
I didn't make that 6th one for Simon.
I suggest that you disposed of the lefties in your rubbish bin sometime after when your guests left the house and before you presented at Leongatha Hospital.
I suggest you dispose of the leftovers in your rubbish bin sometimes after when your guests left the house and before you represent. Why would she say? I suppose there's nothing wrong with saying yes to that. I suggest you remove the steak from inside the leftovers. Oh, sorry.
I suggest you remove the steak from the inside the leftovers before you put the beef Wellington in the bin.
I did do that.
The steak was put somewhere else. Where was it put?
Into my children's stomach.
I suggest that you certainly did not feed that steak to your children.
Roger suggests to Patterson that she helped the police find the leftovers because she had no means of removing them from the bin as she was at Leongatha Hospital. Why wouldn't I just say there were no leftovers? That seems really convoluted.
I suggest you assisted Popo in directing them to where the leftovers were, because if you hadn't told them where the leftovers were, then it would be suspicious.
I have no idea about that. So
for thinking somebody's trying not to be suspicious, you sure are accusing her of doing a lot of sus things, sweetie.
Yeah, like the lady gave the police the leftovers.
Yeah.
And so the prosecutor is going, oh, well, so you're showing them the leftovers because you know that it would look suspicious if you don't show them the leftovers, right? But then again, she showed them the leftovers. What do you fucking want, lady? Right? What do you want? She can't win in this situation. There is nothing that Erin could have done to make it look better. Just nothing. Absolutely nothing. Anyway, so that's the end of that. Now, I got to show you something else. I don't know if Dali's all right or not. Maybe he's going to have a loose stool.
I see a memory. I never realized how happy you made me, oh Mandy. Well, you came and you gave without taking, but I sent you away, oh Mandy. Well, you kissed me and stopped me from shaking, and I need you today, oh Mandy.
So there are supposedly some people out there who are lusting over Mandy right now. Not very many. Not very many. It's not quite a Leslie or AJ kind of situation that's going on over here with Colin Mandy. And there's certainly not like much of a free Erin Patterson movement going on. But in the law forums, there is a little bit of a, yeah, Mandy's pretty hot. Mandy's pretty hot. Crash Daddy, yeah. There's not really that much of that happening. But Erin really needs Mandy right now. Yeah. They must have their beer goggles on. So I really hope Nanette Rogers finishes with her today. As far as the cross-examination has gone, it's pretty much been all about just trying to get Erin to look like she's a big freaking liar. I think probably the worst thing that's come out, or two of the worst things, two things that have come out that have been terrible for her on Cross. One has been about the whole cancer lie. Nanette Rogers spent half a day pretty much on Erin talking to her in-laws about a medical procedure that she made out to be cancer. Erin was like, I don't remember actually saying to them that it was cancer. I know I believe that I may have had cancer, but I was never diagnosed with it. And she was quite evasive about all that. So that made her look very dishonest. But on direct earlier, before all the cross-examination, she did say that the reason that she made all that up was because of the body issues, and she thought that she was going to be out of action because she was going to have this medical procedure to do with her weight, and also that she had an eating disorder and she didn't want people to know about that. Now, we have this other issue, and that's to do with the appointment for the gastric bypass surgery. And like I said earlier, if it's true that she only had an appointment at some beautician or like cosmetic place that doesn't do anything to do with gastric bypass surgery, like the prosecution has said, she's screwed, because that's another huge whopping lie. And I'm positive that Mandy would not have allowed her to testify about that without there being a receipt for it. So I'm sure on redirect that he's going to be bringing up where that really was going to be happening, and that it wasn't going to be this NREC place. So if he doesn't have something to bring up on that one, then he's not worth his salt as a defense attorney, I would say. That's nuts. Maybe I could make a raffle wheel with the Bristol Stool Chart options. No, you're right. Her track record with telling the truth isn't the best. But the thing about it is, though, Laura, that I've always been someone who said that a liar doesn't make a murderer. Just because someone lies a lot doesn't mean that they're a murderer. Look at Alex Murdoch, right? He was convicted of a double homicide, and don't think that there was anywhere near enough evidence to show that he actually committed those murders. But he admitted to being a big liar and pled guilty to a bunch of financial crimes where it was obvious that he lied to his clients. It's a big leap to go from being a liar to being a mass murderer. She's got no violent history. She never hurt anyone alive. So, but jury doesn't like a liar. Doesn't like a liar. Oh, Mark Harding, you are a gem. Where have you been all this time? You need to go back and look at. I have a whole playlist called Murdoch O'Clock, and lots of lawyer guests on there as well who agree with this sentiment. That you're right. Those financial crimes should never have been brought into that trial. It was an absolute abomination of a trial. And yeah, we covered that in depth for a long time. So yeah, you come to the right place, family around here. But if you tell the truth about being a liar, couldn't you be a murderer too? Yeah, Mavka. Well, couldn't you also be like a terrorist or, a cannibal? You could be all sorts of things just because you're a liar. Here's the thing: we all lie. Everybody lies. I lie to Dali all the time. You're muted.
Thank you.
You're still muted.
funny.
Who can really say in chat they've never lied or hasn't even lied in the last day, last week?
True.
Yeah, everybody fucking lies. There's nobody who doesn't lie. Question is like, what scale of lies do you tell? And why do you lie? What motivates you to lie?
Yeah.
This woman had a shameful secret that she was trying to cover up. That was her motivation for lying. She has lived with shame all her life. Her mum used to weigh her every week. Her and her siblings, they would be weighed to make sure they hadn't gained anything. And I'm sure probably shamed if they had.
Yeah.
And so
As a
she's
kid?
gone through this trauma. Yes, as a kid, she's gone through this trauma throughout her life, and therefore she doesn't want people to know about this thing that she's going through, and she has made up lies after lies after lies to cover that up, right? And when it came down to it, she's lied about some procedure or something so that people don't know that she, like she said, didn't have control over the food she put into her body and what was happening to her body. So that's a whole separate issue to this whole mushroom beef Wellington thing, right? So yeah, she lies. Addicts lie, right? So when you've got an addiction like alcoholics, drug addicts, they lie about stuff, right? Doesn't mean they're mass fucking murderers.
No.
Yeah. I don't think she's actually a very good liar, at least. I don't think that. I think she's a pretty shit liar. She's been caught out with a bunch of lies. And a lot of times, like, not even here, not even just in this trial. Like, I think that people in her life probably know that she lies. And I think her husband probably caught her out in a bunch of lies too. And that's probably why he got the shits with her.
No pun intended.
Yeah. 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 I think she probably wasn't the easiest person to live with.
No, not at all.
You know, no. Oh, you meant yourself? Yeah. Yeah, she's a terrible liar. She's a terrible liar. But here's the thing, right? If someone lives like that and they lie a bit or a lot, that then sets them up for a moment like this.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Right? So then this tragedy happens, this terrible thing happens. And then suddenly all the lies that they live with that are completely unrelated to that moment, they then make that person look like they're capable of murdering a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Because they are responsible for the death of those people. She is responsible for the death of those people, no question.
Yeah.
But is she responsible for the intentional death of those people? Just because she lies about a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, she was already a liar.
Yep.
Yeah. I said I don't have a good enough memory to be a good liar. Yeah, right? Same, neither. And also, if I try and lie, like, it's all over my face, like everyone can see it. Like, I'm a really, really crap liar. Like people can always tell because, like, my face just reads everything. So yeah, I'm pretty bad at it. The lies can lead to those sorts of consequences, though, e.g. Chandler Holderson, The Life of Lies. Yeah, I mean, he's a bit of a different one. That's the thing, like
oh boy.
But that's the thing, though. He lies a lot, but then the actual physical evidence around him was overwhelming.
Yeah.
So they didn't just try to get him on lies. Like the lies helped to build the case around him, but then there was so much physical evidence. You couldn't ignore that. You could have taken all of his lies away, and still there was like blood everywhere in that house.
Yeah.
And then there was also like there was bones right through the
fireplace.
The fire trap, yeah. Ash trap, sorry. And then there was him right at the spot where the leg was found of his mum. And then he was like seen at his girlfriend's mum's house or in the backyard.
Oh God, yeah.
Exactly where the torso was found.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can take away every lie he told and you'd still have enough. Yeah. That was an excellent trial. All right, cool. All right, so might be back tomorrow, might not. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm basically going to report every day that there's enough to report on. Didn't do it on Friday because I just really didn't get much out of it on Friday. So we'll see. Erin Patterson on trial, mushroom murders. Trial continues. Stay tuned for updates. Let's hope we are at with the jury by the weekend. I really want to get Ping on to talk about it once it's at least with the jury. But he might not want to talk about it till it's over. So we'll see. Thanks for hanging out, guys. That was fun. Yeah. It's time for the song. Time for the song.
Her name was Helen. She was an Aussie. She was a fake lawyer from the future. She got on YouTube and made some live streams. Her co-host is Dolly and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud and because she's an 803. To the center, excited utterance. Her cat is staring from where he goes. Listen, we are sensitive.
By the way, guys, we are going over to Sean Potentially Criminal. Say hello, Raid, when you get there.